guys, Christy here. So I thought I would show you guys how I make my house paint mixture that I use for a lot of the base coats of my acrylic painting. I needed to mix them up, so I thought, what the heck, I'll do a video to show you guys how I make that and kind of the process. It's pretty simple. So I usually make it in a pretty big quantity when I make this up, because it's, you know, it's kind of pouring it out of these cans is kind of a pain. So I go ahead and make up quite a bit, because, you know, as I said, I do use this as the base on my acrylic pours a lot of times, and you use a lot when you're just covering a canvas. So I mix up quite a bit at a time. So this is a container that I got at the dollar store. It can hold up to 2 quarts, which is 8 cups, and it's got a great, you know, little screw lid. So this is what I'm going to be using today. I did use this vitamin container before, and it's got a little bit left in it, but this top is really stuck on it, so so much for that. All right, so how I do this is I use just your basic house paint. This happens to be the PPG brand, the Diamond. This is interior paint plus a primer, and it's just flat, pure white. That's it. Nothing's added to it. I bought it right off the shelf. And so this is what I use as my white paint, if you will. And I do think that using these house paints, you know, however, whatever they're made of, I think it's 100%. It is 100% acrylic, but however they're made, I do feel like they give really good effects like cells and lacing. So that's why I like to use it as my base coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix up however much is left in this can. So I've gone ahead and loosened the top here. I shook it up before I took the top off, so it does have air, but it's nice and mixed up. And I'm just going to pour it all in here, and we will see how much we have left in this can. And I'm going to help it along here and scrape it out. I'm going to try to get all of it that I can out. Try not to waste. Set that aside. All right, so that, let me look here on the side. That's going to give us about 500 milliliters. So a little over, you're not going to be able to see this, but a little over the 16 ounce mark. And that is 2 cups. So this, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's filled up to right above this little circle that indicates how much is in there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up with Floetrol, all the way up to the right above the 4 cup or the 1 quart line. So essentially what I'm doing is it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So 1 part house paint to 1 part Floetrol. So here's my Floetrol. I get this at Lowe's Home Improvement, and I do believe Home Depot sells it as well. I can still find mine in the gallon, where I hear some people are having a hard time finding it in the gallon, but you want to give it a really good shake. And then I usually strain mine directly into the paint. So I'm going to turn this around so I can kind of see how much Floetrol I'm putting in. So here's the strainer I use. It came with this big one and then a smaller one that fits on top of squeeze bottles perfectly. I just got these from the dollar store. I was going to see if this fit. It does. I think that'll work. So that worked out. All right, so now I'm just going to pour my Floetrol in. And what this strainer does is, if you've ever worked with Floetrol, then you know that you get like globs, which some people call, you know, Floetrol boogers, but you get these globs in the paint, and if you don't strain it, those will come out in your painting. This, I didn't get a lot of goop or globs in it, so that worked out well, but that kind of helps me prevent getting those big kind of boogers, if you will. All right, so now we've got our 1-to-1, and I'm just going to stir it up here. And this is pretty thin, as you can see. So I'm not going to add any water to this. I'm not going to add anything else. This is about the consistency that I like for my house paint base coat to be. And let me see if I can show you guys better. So it just runs right off the stick. So it's pretty runny. And so when the paint runs back into, from the stick into the paint in the container, it goes directly in without forming a mound. So that is what I like for my consistency. So hopefully this is helpful for you. I will link all of the products that I use that I'm able to find on Amazon in the description block below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, thanks guys.